And we are doing it again. I hope that you are still here, guys. Ha ha ha. So, our life today is meant to be an interview. An interview with Sonal, who had like the most amazing, one of the most amazing quantum leaps like ever I saw. So I invited her here to talk with us. But like Sonal, if you are here, if you are watching me right now, for some reason I'm not able to invite you on this live. So you have an option, you need to have an option to just ask me to like let you in. Can you click it, please? Because, yeah, I see you're here. Ah, yay, we have here. Oh, are you there? Are you there? You're there, you're there.
Yes, I'm here.
Finally. For a moment, like, yeah.
Yeah.
I thought it's not going to work,
Panic.
but you're here. How are you?
Hi,
Hi.
I'm
I'm
good. How are
amazing and
you?
super excited for this call because you are here to tell people, to tell those who still doubt themselves that, oh my God, change is possible, and getting the manifestation and understanding and putting into practice and actually getting the results they want. If they still doubt that it's possible, I want you to share like your story, because what you did with your partner, with your team, with your job, with, oh my God, with everything, it's mind blowing.
Well, I'm very excited to be here, so thank you.
Can you tell us a little bit about, before you will tell what changed, can you tell us what you tried at first and what was absolutely not working for you?
Yeah, so I came into the law of assumption community with some knowledge about the law of attraction. And I started my manifestation journey with the law of attraction. But the being positive all the time didn't really seem right to me. And so I discovered law of assumption, and very quickly after I did, I started doing insane things to try to manifest. I was constantly editing my
Uh-huh.
reality, looking out into the outside world and pretending things are here that aren't actually here yet. I was visualizing, I was scripting, I was affirming, I was listening to overnight affirmation, like the tapes, and I was doing every possible technique, and I was trying to manifest instead of actually manifesting things. I was trying to manifest. And I didn't fully understand how law of assumption actually worked. And I found that a lot of the teachings, or like the YouTube videos, Instagrams, like a lot of the teachings out there made it seem like this magical power that you can, hack your reality with. And I spent so many months trying to understand how to hack my reality and try to master this, like, magical power, um, when that wasn't it all along. So I was doing every technique possible for hours at a
Uh-huh.
time every
Can
day.
you tell us? Can you like share the secret? What were you manifesting and what were the results in your 3D when you were trying to do all those things?
So I came into the law of assumption to manifest a partner, and my specific partner, and a lot of the content out there is, about specific person, and I was one of the biggest followers of all of that content. And I was doing a lot of techniques to try and manifest him back. At the same time, I also understood with the law of assumption that you are manifesting all the time. So I did have small wins here and there with,
Mm-hmm.
daily manifestations. But with my partner, it was no contact, radio silent for months, maybe 4 or 5 months.
This is
So there were no
mm-hmm.
results in my
And
3D.
this is so, I don't want to use that word, but because I have to, normal for the people in love of assumption community before it all starts clicking that there is this thing, this person, this job, this house, money that we really want to get, and we try everything and nothing's happening, or even we get opposite results in a 3D. That's why I asked you what was like happening for you, right? So you said like absolutely nothing, but so many people experience opposite results. So the person is blocking them, moving away. They actually go into debt when they are manifesting money, all of that. But in the same time, for the small things or the things that aren't so important, like they are wins all the time. And did you have this moment of absolute frustration that, oh my God, what am I doing wrong? Because this happened and this happened and this happened, but this, I really want this and still nothing.
That did happen to me, because I was manifesting things on the daily that were smaller. And so I remember it was early November. I completely broke down, and I said to the universe out there, speaking to the universe, that I'm doing everything I'm supposed to be doing to manifest my partner, and he's still not here. And I just knew that this wasn't the way, because if we're told that we're manifesting our lives all the time, we're not doing techniques all the time. And I've never done a technique before I entered this community. So how was I manifesting this whole time? That question to me became so important, because all of the teachings out there were based on techniques. And I came to the thought that if everyone is saying that I'm the God of my own reality, I am the source of everything, I have never done a technique in my life. So how was I creating this whole time? And how can I do that again now? And I came to that point, like that very frustrated point in
Mm-hmm.
November.
And what changed? What changed for you that you got it and got your results?
So my frustration and my constant thought about we create our lives all the time, um, that thought manifested into me finding you. And I found your content, and well, I'm going to rephrase. I actually found your content months before I actually joined your programs. And back like maybe 4 or 5 months before I did, I would think when I would see your content, I would be like, it can't be this easy, So I would be like, I'm not going to follow this because it can't be this easy. And I had this idea that
Mm-hmm.
it had to be harder, But when I finally came back in November, I found your content and I joined Powerful as Fuck, because the things you were saying on your Instagram and on your blog made so much sense to me. So I decided to take a leap of faith and joined Powerful as Fuck. And I can easily say it has changed my entire life and who I am
Uh-huh.
completely.
So what you started doing?
So I remember in one of my first sessions with you, you mentioned that I have too much focus on my partner and on my person, and you asked me what I actually want. And when I realized that my partner or the specific person was just a
Mm-hmm.
representation of what I thought would make me happy, and what I actually want has nothing to do with him, and what I actually want is unconditional, regardless of whether it's with him or someone else. And I started to focus on that desire, that unconditional desire, and change who I am based on that. Everything shifted. So a little bit more explanation would be that in Powerful as Fuck, we also, with the content, with the Q&A, with the group chat, I found that I started to understand how manifestation works, like start to finish. And I also knew what works for me, like personally, and what doesn't work for me. And it was the combination of those two pieces of information that allowed me to master manifestation. So when I started focusing on what works for me, which is a feeling, which is catching a feeling without any visualization or anything like that, and I started tapping into a place where I was in a very fulfilling marriage and I had a very clear idea of what that meant for me feelings wise, things changed in my life so rapidly. It was unreal. I think I joined Powerful as Fuck at the
Mm-hmm.
end of November. And by the end of January, I was like in a different reality. So,
And to clarify for the people, you got the person you wanted from the start, right? Uh-huh. Because
yes.
so many people are afraid, so many of you watching us right now are afraid that if you only skip focusing on that specific manifestation, right? And go for the desire, what you actually desire, what desire made you crave that manifestation, that person, that job, that specific house, whatever, you're going to get something else. This fear is absolutely so strong. So you can say it's not your
I
experience.
mhm. I felt that way. I think when I started my journey with Powerful as Fuck, I remember I messaged the group chat one time where I was having a lot of anxiety that if I focused on me, that I wasn't going to get what I
Mm-hmm.
actually wanted. And then what what helped me understand it was if he represents, X, and I manifest X, now whether it's him or someone else, I'm guaranteed to be happy because I want X. I don't actually want him, right? And so when I realized that, and I also internally knew that he was the best person to give me that, it all came together, very
Mm-hmm.
quickly.
So you discovered that you manifest by like tapping to the feeling, right?
Hmm.
Because what really people don't say so much about is that what we all love to repeat over and over and over is we are all different. And so many people, maybe you who are watching us, is using it as a defense. Yeah, this won't work for me because we are all different. But if we are all different and there is something that works for someone, that means that there is also something that works for you. The only thing is finding it. And some people do it through imagining something visual. Some people use it to like hearing something, right? When we have this Neville Goddard's suggestion, like congratulatory conversation, like hear someone saying you did a good job, right? Is something different, and tapping into the feeling, straight into the feeling without any visual, without hearing anything, without just like any scene kind of, right? Is something, again, very different. And not all of that will work for everybody. And also, not every desire you can manifest with the same thing, right? So what I'm huge about is finding what works for you. Like just saying. So now, what are your the best success stories, except your partner? Because you said about like this like specific person. Yes, manifesting a specific person is possible. We just have a proof here. But what are the different things? Did you use the same principles you learned in Powerful as Fuck to manifest something else?
Everything. I use the principles I learned in Powerful as Fuck with everything. When I say that when Powerful as Fuck changed who I am, it's because I used to be a very anxious person and a very, a lot of overthinking and all of that. With what I learned in Powerful as Fuck and really coming into knowing how manifestation works for me and what makes me feel like things are done and it's going to happen. When I realized all of this, I couldn't look back. And now I live a very conscious manifestation lifestyle. So I have so many wins. I used to actually keep a note on my phone of all the things I consciously manifested. And I think it was like 2 weeks ago, I was like, you know what? I'm having so many wins daily, hourly, every moment that this list is no longer helpful. And so I think that when I realized that I've been manifesting everything and I no longer want to use a list because I'm continuing to manifest so many things every day, is remarkable. Another big manifestation, which is unrelated to anything to do with love, maybe self-love, but I think for the last 14 years, I've wanted to get veneers, which are, cosmetic teeth. And the process of getting them done is extremely expensive. So initially I was imagining, white teeth and beautiful, beautiful teeth. And then I realized that when I asked myself why and what for, I realized that my actual desire is to smile and laugh freely because I didn't I was very insecure about my teeth before. And once I started imagining or just tapping into that feeling of feeling free when I'm smiling and when I'm laughing, things started to fall into place very quickly. And within 2 to 3 weeks, from when I first imagined it to when now I have my beautiful teeth, it was only 3 weeks of time. And it happened in a way that was affordable to me. I could, I could afford the teeth that I wanted, and I never even had to imagine that. I just had to imagine my actual desire, which was to smile and laugh freely, and everything else fell into place within like 2-3 weeks.
Like, I love this story. I just absolutely love this story because it also shows that we don't have to imagine all of the middles. Like, you don't have to imagine first having the money to then be able to afford just go to the end and 3 weeks and you have your new team done. And like, that's amazing.
I know. It really is. And, even before I got the hang of it, I think like I do now, my wins were very fast after I figured out what works for me. And, you know, whether it be financial, whether it be with friends, whether it be with family, or, understanding what everybody as you pushed out actually means, and like just learning and truly understanding it, not from a spiritual perspective, but from a practical, um, here's how you've been doing it your whole life perspective. I have amazing relationships with people today, and I have, um, I have an incredible relationship with my parents, my brother, my partner, everyone around me. And so it's really changed my whole life. The wins are so many, but there's the teeth, or there was, I got a raise, or I got a bonus, or I went on a trip that I wanted to go to for a really long time. And there are so many daily wins I can't even begin to remember.
That's amazing. So since you got it, can I ask you, for you to be here, to be a manifestation coach for a while, and give an advice to all of the people who are watching us, who are still like, no, I'm not like, getting any program, but to give them something for so they can like move into the direction of actual results, not just more or confusion why this happened and this is still not happening. Do you have an advice like this?
I do, and it's the advice that changed, or it's the information that changed everything for me, is you are manifesting all the time, and not in a spiritual, mystical way. In your life, in your daily 3D life, everything that you have in front of you, you manifested, and you constantly manifest who you are, and you cannot stop that process. It's not like you decide one day to stop manifesting. So when I asked myself, you know, if I'm manifesting all the time and I manifest who I am, who do I want to be? And when I asked myself that question of who I want to be, and I got very clear on who I wanted to be, I think that's the first place that I started. And like that was life changing for me, to ask myself who I want to be on my own unconditionally. And then I would say, honestly, hire a coach. I think hiring a coach is so different, and it just explains so many things in ways that you maybe won't understand on your own. But if you are doing it on your own, so I just think that thinking of manifestation like a magical outside force keeps you at bay from really achieving great success, because you think you can use it for only one or two things. But when you realize that you've been doing it all the time, and if you just change the way you think and you perceive and you believe, you could change not just one or two things, but your whole
Such a
life.
great word.
So.
Wow. To those who are watching us, if you have a question, you just have like here someone who manifested her specific person and manifested a new teeth and a race and a trip and more, and you want to do any of the same, and you have a question, like type it like here. I use that moment because like this lady here, so now you're like really inspiring. You are truly inspiring.
Oh,
Not that my other
thank you.
clients are inspiring, but you are one of the the speed at which you achieved all of that is mind-blowing. Like, it shows me clearly that
Thank you.
your starting point was really like, I am ready. I'm not here to defend anything that I was doing, but okay, I'm here to try it, to risk if that works, and you did it. And we have a question. What are the manifestation techniques you used?
None. Not one. I think maybe I was doing one session, manifest, like, SAT session per day, but I wasn't visualizing or anything. I was just tapping into the feeling of of my end, what that actually feels like. And I think it's just when I understood that when something is truly booked, done, it's going to be delivered like Amazon, it's getting delivered to your apartment. When something you think is booked and done for you, it changes who you are. And so on the daily, when I wasn't in my sessions, if I ever thought about my person or my teeth or anything else, I would just be like, oh yeah, that's done for me and it'll happen. And when I just was focusing on myself and living my best life, and that I didn't do any techniques really when actually things started to manifest.
Wow, I love it. Like, now techniques manifestation is the best. Okay, another question from Claire. I started conscious manifesting before. I don't know. Can you, like, Sonal, can you see the same questions? Okay, great. So just for those who will be listening to the recording, Claire asked, I started conscious manifesting before I learned any techniques, processes. Should I change to what I've learned or go back to how I was before? So is the question that before you you were having results and then you learned some techniques, and right now you are asking if you should like use those techniques or you should I'm afraid I don't really understand this question. So Claire, if you're still here, and can you clarify what is it truly about, that would be just perfect. Or maybe Sonal, do you understand this question?
No, I'm not entirely clear.
And one more, a good one, a really good one. Someone asked, I have the fear that if I concentrate on myself while manifesting my specific person, will I get that guy or some other? I feel that. Please help me understand here. Probably you joined a little bit late, because at the beginning of like this live, like Sonal shared her story. But if you can like very quickly answer that one more time.
When I was focusing on him, nothing happened. When I was focusing on me, everything happened with the person that I wanted it to happen with. And I had that fear before, but if you actually manifest what you want, which is, for some people it could be your soulmate or whatever, wouldn't you rather you get your soulmate, not the person you think is your soulmate, and just be happy? So.
Okay, let me, we have two more. How can I use manifestation to move and get citizenship in another country? I don't know if we can, answer it here, because all that I'm about, all what Sonal is talking about is how to actually discover what works for you. And it kind of like seems like you are asking about this how. And without knowing you, it's hard to answer it. I can give you, for example, like techniques ideas or scene ideas. I can easily do it. But the question is, will that work for you? Because it can or it cannot. Some people do it this way, that they have this one technique. I see it a lot with affirmation and with scripting, that people just believe that if they do it, it kind of automatically works. Kind of like, I don't know, plugging your device and it starts working, right? It's like kind of like this belief. If I do this, then this happens. But it makes you a slave to the technique and always slows down your results. So like just saying that if someone has this technique, if every time I do this, it works, but then if you really want something, you have to do this, apply the technique, and the question is, for how many things can you actually apply the technique? And then there is only one, you're manifesting slower, because you are not really able to manifest multiple things at once, because yeah, you need to apply the technique for each separately. But let's start like there, like my favorite two questions. Like, why and what for do you want to move? Because moving to another country is the manifestation. But what is the desire under this manifestation? How you imagine your life? What are your expectations? What will happen after you will move? This is your desire. Start there. Start with really realizing what's that. And this thing, by the way, can be perfectly enough. It may be everything that you need. Because every time we start breaking what we want, realizing that, it's so easy to just feel it on the spot, like, yeah, like this. Oh my God, because what, you know, like getting just like, move and get citizenship in another country is a very open question. I can imagine so many different people wanting to move to different countries for so many different reasons, right? It's like very, but the question is, what is actually your desire? What you want to do? I'm like just checking, like I'm Polish, right? There are people like coming to live here, but I never understand that. So let's say that, yeah, we'll move you to Poland and give you a citizenship here. Will you be happy in a Central Europe? Probably no. And if no, then why? And what do you actually want? Like start there. Okay, and Claire is clarifying. I was getting results before when I was trying to disprove manifesting to my friend, so I've only learned techniques since that. So I'm not only sure if I should start with the techniques now. No. Very quick answer. No.
I agree.
Samya, so we need to manifest being fulfilled all the time to get what we want. Yes. But to clarify, what does it mean to be fulfilled? Because just being fulfilled is kind of like being rich or being free is such a huge idea that if you don't know what is it really about for you, then you struggle to manifest it because it's kind of empty. It's about everything.
If I can just add to that, I think something that really changed how my journey was when I realized that being authentic and being who you are and feeling what you feel and living your life here and now and being present and all of these things, that's more fulfilling than pretending to be fulfilled.
I love this. I love what you just said. Yeah, it's so true.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It's so true. Okay, we don't have any more questions. Any more questions? So, like, last question for the end, right? Because our secret, very openly secret agenda, or secretly open, I don't know which one is, like, agenda here was to tell people that if they're on the fence of joining Powerful as Fuck program, it's absolutely worth it. So if someone is watching us right now and it's like exactly in this situation, like on the edge, still unsure, will it work for me? Won't it work for me? Is it worth my time and my money? Do you have something to say to a person like that?
Yes, and that is, don't hesitate at all. There's to understand manifestation, it's a whole picture, it's a whole holistic view. And if you really want to understand that holistic view, free content online is, at least for me, just wasn't giving me that. And what I found with Powerful as Fuck is, unlike any other, one-on-one coaching or anything like that, it gives you the absolute fullest picture of manifestation and how we as human beings have been manifesting our whole lives. That it's that understanding of how it actually works and having that full knowledge that allowed me to make such great change. And so I don't, not for a second, like if I could, I would tell everyone to join Powerful as Fuck. I think that the amount of knowledge that you receive is truly remarkable, truly remarkable.
I can say thank you.
And you explain everything so well, it's so grounded in how we lead our lives practically, and it's not just in this esoteric manner, that applying it is so much easier than when someone's explaining it in an esoteric or spiritual manner. So thank you very much for that, because it really did change who I am as a person and also my entire life.
Thank you. Thank you. I loved everything that you say. I love your success stories. I love what you shared here with us. Thank you for your time. And it was an honor and a pleasure and everything to have you here. Thank you so much, guys who are watching us. Thank you for the questions. Oh my. It's always so hard to say bye, but we are saying bye right now. If you are watching us and you're like, okay, I'm ready, I'm joining Power Plus Pack right now. There is a link in my bio, and there will be a link on stories. or DM me if you say can't find it, or have a question like, Koti, will it really, that's my situation, will it like really work for me? Like DM me, let's talk about it. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you to like who like you are like, saying thank you right now. Okay, one more time. Thank you, Sonal. I know that you are starting your day right now. She's like, guys, she's in like Los Angeles. It's like super early for her. I don't know where you are, but we are in like absolutely, we're on different continents. Uh, oh, and Mike join us. Okay, one more
Okay.
time. Thank you and see you, and it was great.